has been collected in just 3 days. This is money that the road users who choose to use this express highway are paying, depending the price depend on the various categories of the vehicles as listed, and of course for the motorcycles only those with 400cc and above are allowed on this express highway. Now joining me on set this morning is Joy Nabasa, who happens to be the public relations officer, that is IGS Road Operations. Joy, you're most welcome to our studios this morning.
Thank you for having me.
You must be indeed a happy woman after seeing this response to the public. And of course, when we talk about money amounting to about 250 million, was this predicted, or is it also that it comes as a surprise to you in just 3 days?
We are very happy that the public complied and they are willing to use the road. So it is a joy to us and our client UNRA to see that the Ugandans are willing to pay for the expressway, and they're willing to pay for the services that they're going to have and are going to be provided on the road. So we are happy about it.
Well, one of the things we want to look at, Joy, is this is one of its kind in Uganda.
Yes.
Today, maybe hope many will come later after. But let's first understand why the toll fee to an average Ugandan. Let's first understand why is this specific road now something that a Ugandan must pay for?
Ugandans are paying for this road because they're paying for the services they're going to receive on this road. They're also paying for the loan from China Exim Bank. This road was constructed on a loan that is supposed to be paid. So this money that is collected will be to pay for the loan and maintain the expressway at a very high standard. Yes.
Talking about high standard, let's also first understand importantly, what are some of these services that really mandate the payment of a person? Yes, we know this express highway, one, it has a lot of benefits. Yes. But what are those services that now that the towing has started, that are going to be provided? Because for some time, Ugandans were enjoying this free of charge.
Yes. Ugandans are paying for services like reliable travel, knowing that I'm going to leave home and I get to work at a certain time and you will not be caught in traffic. We also have services like
smile, because of the smile that fills the face.
Maintenance, where there is an accident and we have to construct the damaged parts of the road as an emergency. So all that money will be collected and it will maintain the road. We also have safety improvement. We are going to improve the facilities on the road, like road signs. We shall have more road signs for the safety of the road users. We are going to have lighting on the road. So the road will be lit for the road users to know that it is safe to use it day and night. Yeah.
Let's also understand who is meant to pay, because sooner than the reopening, we saw a very interesting video, disturbing at the same time, because one, we were told that a president convoy will be exempted and emergency vehicles. Now here we see a police patrol at one of the toll points being told to pay. One would think these are people in security, maybe it could also be counted under the emergency category. So let's look at the person supposed to pay.
This is a law as per the Roads Act. In Uganda, those are the exempted vehicles, the police the president's convoy, and the emergency vehicles of ambulances and fire trucks. The rest of the vehicles, whether they are government vehicles, they will pay the road. So we call upon the different government institutions to make sure that they get cards, if it's okay, or facilitate in their transport facilitation and pay for the road. But those are the only exempted vehicles. Yes.
And of course, those that are supposed to use this include, that is pedestrians?
No.
Pedestrians are not allowed.
Pedestrians
Motorcycles
are not allowed
below 400 cc's,
yes,
equally not allowed. Yes. Now, Joy, let's also look at the methods of paying. This has also brought some bit of confusion or not. And we have those using cards. Many Ugandans are asking, Why not use our Visa cards, mobile money? It is the way to go now, in case I don't have that card. Then you have those using cash. Explain more on this.
On the toll booths, when you get to the toll booths, we only have to use cash and the electronic cards that have been provided. So if we get to use Visa cards and mobile money, all that, there will be delay in transaction at the booths, and we shall have more traffic build up. So, however, we've come in to bring on those services, and we are trying to bring on those services of mobile money and bank cards to purchase a card, the electronic card. So those modes of transaction will be there with time to purchase the card, but they can't be used at the toll booths. Yes.
Now let's look at the cards. One of the methods that many would want to use for its convenience, because I saw some, you reach there, then change, then issues of that. But this card has a time it expires, within 30 days. So I have about 60 trips on my card. So in case it expires, when I've not made my trips, what happens?
To be specific, the card doesn't expire. The card, what expires are the funds on the card. If you have trips on your card, they will expire within the gazetted time. We have different types of cards. We have an Easy Pass that also has a discount on it of 10% per trip. So the Easy Pass doesn't expire, but you keep loading money on your card. So per trip, they deduct money on that card. We also have a weekly pass. The weekly pass has 50%. The 50% is for 14 trips for 7 days. If you use the 14 trips before the 7 days end, you have to reload on your card. If you still have the trips and the 7 days are done,
Yes.
the trips are no more.
Oh.
So you have to load after the 7 days. We also have a monthly pass.
Let's get to that proper, Joey. Let's understand
Yes,
this. If for that 7, the weekly pass, if I use the right word, the weekly pass has my 14 trips.
Yes.
I use the 14 trips before the week expires. I have to load more
Yes,
money
yes.
to be able to access.
Yes.
Now, if I don't use my 14 weeks,
14 trips.
14 trips, sorry, the
Yes.
14 trips, the 14 journeys, to and fro, and then a week comes to an end, then my trips are no longer valid.
They are not. They can't get to another week because they were for that week. It's the way you load free calls on your phone. If you don't use them and they are for a month, there will be no more. So that's the same procedure.
Very interesting, but of course we have the Entebbe Express Highway, and it is an alternative for people to use. We saw the reporting back of children to school, and of course there was so much jam on the main road, and one made a joke that this is how 5,000 is really high, because many of these could have opted for the express highway, but maybe it could have been the charges there. But also look at more of how these cards are being accessible, because many also have raised this concern, where, how easily.
Our cards can be accessible at our toll stations, that is Mpala, Kajansi and Busega. We have points of sale at our toll stations, and you can purchase your card there. Yes.
Let's just look at the variations in prices. Yes, a motorcycle, that is 4,000. When you go to the ordinary cars, that is 5,000. Then you have, what causes these variations, and how do you justify them, just for the public to better appreciate why we do have them?
We have different categories and classifications of cars. So these are classified according to the axles. You can't have a light vehicle of 2 axles charged the same as the truck of 6 axles. So the heavier the car, the more the fee. Yes, so the more the axles on the car, the more the fee. Yes.
Also, something that is, you talked about people paying for services, but I've used the express highway a number of times. but before the towing began. One of the observations I find is the lightening issue. When is this going to be dealt with?
The lighting issue is in the Aegis contract by the client, and it will be done. So in this year, we shall have the road lit. Yes, this year the road will be lit. It's under preparation.
We are just in January and the year has 12 months.
Sure.
So it's in the pipeline?
It's in the pipeline.
Okay, this year that's all we can go with?
Yes, it's going to be worked on.
Let's also look at getting back to the card. You know, how do I check my balance? I have my card weekly, monthly, and I want to get to know how much is remaining of this card.
A motorist is sent an SMS alert every time they use the road. Per passage, if you have the weekly or monthly, they'll tell you how many trips are remaining and what you've used. Then for the Easy Pass, that's where you load money. They'll tell you the balance remaining on your card. So you receive an SMS alert per passage. Yes.
Another observation since Saturday, we are seeing jam created at these toll points. And I think, Joy, this in one or the other befits then the purpose. Because previously you just sail through. Now you're at the toll, you're securing there, it's still jam. One would wonder then why didn't I maybe use the other alternative route? How are you handling this, and what could be the cause of this jam?
We have the traffic jam at the peak hours, especially when people are going to work and when they are coming back from work. But this doesn't take even 15 minutes. It clears in a shortest time because the transactions take a very short time. The transactions take like 5 seconds. If you have a card, actually, it takes 5 seconds to pass. So that jam clears very fast, and in a few minutes, there is no jam. Yes, but on the expressway, there is no jam. The little jam that is there is when you're accessing to pay.
Yes.
Yes, but it clears in the very shortest time. Yes.
Still looking at issues of paying, there are Ugandans that have been blessed. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let me stop counting cars.
Yes.
So what happens if my card is tied to one specific car, and maybe I want to use another car? Do I have to secure a card for each car that I'm going to use?
We have the frequent user cards, the monthly and the weekly. They're the ones that are registered with a number plate. So those you can't use that card on different cards. However, we provided the Easy Pass. The Easy Pass can be used on all your different cars and in different classes. If you have a small car, class 2, you can use the same card. And if you have a big truck, you can still come back and use the same card.
You have the Easy Pass and?
Easy Pass, weekly pass, and monthly pass. So that Easy Pass, provided you have sufficient funds and money on it, you can use it with all types of cars. Yes.
So one should know now which type of card that they should purchase for them to better have a smooth sail through this express highway.
Yes, at our points of sale, we have an inquiry desk where we tell you and explain to you different cards, so that by the time you purchase the card, you're satisfied that that's the card that will work for you. Yes.
Well, our viewers, we're still discussing, that is the payment at the Entebbe Express Highway that was launched officially on Saturday, that was the 8th. And the first person to purchase this card was the Minister of Transport and Works, General Katumba Amala, at the launching. So he made the first payment. Many Ugandans, this has been their way to ease traffic. However, now with the coming in of payment, some may use the alternative road. However, in just 3 days, we've gotten information that they have been able to collect 250 million Uganda shillings. That means that people are responding positively to this. But there's also another issue of that is security. Because we know that with payment, there are services like you've just told us. The Entebbe Express Highway has had its issues regarding this. How is, or is it part of the duty of the company of Aegis to ensure that this is also factored in?
Yes, it's part of the duty for Aegis, and we have 24/7 patrol vehicles on that road. So the security is dealt with by the patrol cars on that road. So even the incidences, if we have incidents on the road, we are quick to act because we have an incident response, an immediate incident response. So the security is good on the road, and I think Ugandans can tell that there is a change. Before the road was managed and now, so there is no more robbery and crimes. We also have police patrol on that road. Yes, so the 24/7 security is good.
Talking about security, you have like toll-free numbers in case sometimes may not be a robbery. Someone's car could break down on this highway, and maybe they need security, or they need breakdown services, or even as they try to check their car, at least to be sure that there's someone watching. You know, the express highway is really an highway, I must accept, because sometimes I was driving through and something came to my mind: if this car broke down right where I am, so what is the way? I don't see how I get off the road. So are you factoring in all this?
In our services that we provide on the expressway that road users pay for, we have the maintenance, and we also have the quick response, the emergency response of people. If your car breaks down on the road, we come straight to you at the shortest time, and you call our toll-free number 0800 270 170, and we get to you as soon as possible. When you get there, we tow your car. In case it can't move, we tow your car to the nearest holding grounds, and at no fee, at no cost. Yes. So those are the different services that our road users are paying for. We, in case of an accident, we also have ambulances, an ambulance that is there standby to help you. We also have very good traffic management. In case of such incidences, how are the other road users moving? So we secure the place. Yeah, all those services are free of charge.
But of course, if you run out of fuel, that is not free.
Yes, that is not free.
Very interesting. Yes. We are still discussing our viewers. We are looking at that is the Entebbe Express Highway, and more emphasis and clarity on the toll fee, and of course what you need to know about this highway in terms of payment, modes of payment. Allow us to go for a short break, and we will be returning soon to discuss more.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Enjoy convenience today with Airtel Money School Pay, FlexiPay or Bridge Schools. To pay school fees using FlexiPay, dial *185#. Select option 6 School Fees. Select option 3 FlexiPay. Enter the school code. Enter the student number. Enter the amount. Enter the PIN number to complete payment. Pay school fees conveniently using Airtel Money. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Raising voices.
As a community member, I think we need to change in the way we act in response to violence against children. In my small way, I can be a leader in preventing violence in my community. I promise to work with my neighbor to create violence-free homes and communities for our children.
In this time of COVID, what is your promise to the children of Uganda? Because a violence-free childhood is everyone's right. Raising voices.
Sasula era kulanga okozesa Airtel Money owangula obutitimbe bw'ensimbi. Tutaddewo biliyoni mu n'ekitundu yakwewangulira buli lw'okozesa Airtel Money.
Sebali kwa Patrick, ndi agent wa Airtel Money era nawangudde miliyoni 2 era ndi musanyufu nnyo. Ndi awo nga nyiga *185 hasi.
Jokoba okuza Airtel Money, jokoba okuyoola kafuwa siringi. Airtel Money ya buliwo yesigika teriiko nsalo. Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Back from that short commercial break, we are still discussing issues of the express highway regarding payment and the information you need to know as a user of this express highway. The good news is there's been commendable public response towards the payment, and in just 3 days since the commencing of the payment, that is on the 8th of this very month, we've been able to collect, that is according to UNRA, 250 million. Now with me on set, in case you've just joined, is Joy Nabasa, who happens to be the Public Relations Officer of X Road Operations, the company that is contracted to ensure that the smooth services being given to the public on this express highway. Now, Joy, let's also look at the issue of, in case my card is damaged or I've misplaced it,
Okay.
how do we carry on?
In case your card is damaged and you don't have any other way, you come back to our point of sale at our toll stations, but we'll charge you for damaging the card and not having it. So you'll pay 20,000 and you'll be given back you'll be given a new card. On that new card, all the funds that were on your old card, either trips or your money, will be put on the new card. Yes. But the cards are free of charge at the beginning. What you do is just load your funds. But when the card is damaged, you'll pay 20,000 Ugandan shillings and all your funds will be put on the other card. Yes.
Very interesting. At least they are free at the beginning, so rush to any of these centers and get yourself a card so that you can be able to sail through very smoothly. Of course, there are also those that still refer paying in terms of money, cash. That is also something that is facilitated for, but I think the card will do things better. We've talked about the element of security. You've promised us lightening, but also one of the things that I want you to clarify are those categories, if any, that should not be using this express highway.
Yes, there are people who are not supposed to be using those are pedestrians, motorcycles that are below 400 cc, the stray animals, grazing around. We have a good greenery on the road, so people might use it to graze their cattle or their different, but it's not allowed. So it is vehicles and the motorcycles that are 400 cc and above. The rest are not exempted. Bicycles, nothing.
Yes. Cyclists are not.
Yeah, they're not allowed. Yes.
Okay, well, still to understand, when you talk about motorcycles above 400 cc, that means automatically the Bajaj Boxers that many Ugandans know, this is a no-go zone for them. Do not tamper, leave it for the big boys. The new time to use, that is in terms of riding and of course the vehicles there. But also still looking at the express highway and of course payments, you've talked about emergency vehicles. Now, most of the times I've been listening to His Excellency when speaking, and I know that perception and understanding of what has been spoken differs. Emergency vehicles, you have incidents where maybe someone, they're rushing someone to hospital. It may not be an ambulance really that is labeled and has all this decoration. Are there incidents where there is maybe a judgment in the hands of the people at the toll?
In case it's not an ambulance that is taking that person to the hospital, it's a personal car and you're rushing, we have a standby ambulance. We will help you. But you can't, if you want to use your car and take your person to the hospital, pay the toll fees. If you can't, then we shall help you with the ambulance and transport your person. Yes.
So that a free cost?
We can talk about that.
You know, when you talked about cars, these breakdown services being free and all that. But also, let's look at the public response. For us, we might look at 200 million, maybe saying in just 3 weeks, this has really been a good sign of people responding. But is it moving within your expectations? How is the public responding to this now that there is a fee to be charged?
Actually, the public is responding very well. Yeah, it is a positive response, and we thank you, Ugandans, for using the road. We haven't had any problems, any big problems that we can't handle. So it is good for now. Yeah.
For now, so good. We continue to appreciate the public. But also, Joy, looking at this express highway, one of the issues was the road furniture, or the signboards and all this. How are you handling this? Most of the times I used it, you'd find lost people. You know, a person doesn't know which side to take. Sometimes the road signs are a bit far or past what they should take on. Have we had improvements there? Because then it loses the meaning. Not everyone is well versed with the express highway. It has a number of breakups here and there. So how are you improving this?
We are going to have more road signs installed on the road. Road signs were put before, but then they were vandalized before because there was no security, no patrols, all that. So people used that chance to take off the road signs, maybe for scrap and all. But we are going to improve on the road facilities. We are going to have more cameras on the road to monitor, and people will not be destroying the road signs that will be put in place. But for now, the road signs of direction, and people are using the road in case of any astray, like you don't know where you're going. We have our patrols 24/7 and they will guide you. Yes.
We also had damaged fences. These were very vital as far as limiting animals from accessing the express highway. When you move through, most of the chain links are normal, but you can see one section here. And if you have to look at safety, I think that is also another issue, because much as an express highway, you said there are fertile grounds for grazing, but you had a lot of this also destabilized.
Actually, the grounds that are there, they are not for grazing.
Nearby, I see a number of...
They're there, but they're to beautify the road and have a stress-free ride as you pass on that road. Yeah, but they're not for grazing. So the fences that were broken before are going to be replaced. And as I talk right now, they're being replaced. So with time, we'll have the whole road fenced off, and will not have any stray animals again. Yes, because they cause accidents. Yeah.
So let's look at how long, because one of the things that we know was this is aimed at preparing Ugandans to better handle this express highway after a period of time. So how are you factoring in this? Because you know, yes, Idris is doing a great job, at least for the few days I've been watching and observing and getting complaints here, but are you factoring in that finally, even when this comes to an end, Ugandans have the experience, have the knowledge, can partake of it fully?
Yes, Ugandans are going to, this road is to prepare Ugandans for more of this that is coming. Yes, so it has been taken in positively, and we hope that it will stay the same. Yes, so it is a good experience for us Ugandans.
Also, my other concern is, usually we aim at job creation. Have we had this factored in and opportunities? Can we estimate maybe how many jobs, by having such a facility now in Uganda, having that all have been created?
Most of the jobs are taken up by Ugandans, which is a good thing for us. Aegis Road Operation is a French company, but I can tell you that 99.7% are Ugandans. So it has created jobs for Ugandans, and it is good for all of us because we need jobs, and Aegis has come in to provide jobs for us for the betterment of all of us. Yes, so it is like, should I say 99.7% Ugandan. Yes.
Very interesting. Let me also first remind our viewers that we are still discussing issues of the express highway now that payment or tolling was officially launched on the 8th. In case you've not been around, well, it was once free of charge, but now you have to pay when you use this. Maybe briefly allow Joy also to take us into the categories and how much each category, depending on who have access, is supposed to be paying, for you to better understand that in case you're to use the express highway, this is what you're going to pay according to the category of your vehicle that is being used or you're going to use on this road.
So we have different categories. We have the motorcycles, the 400 and above cc. They will be paying 3,000 Ugandan shillings. Yes, we have the light vehicles with or without trailer. They're paying 5,000 shillings, 5,000 Ugandan shillings. We have the Bindiam goods vehicles of 2 to 3 axles. Those are paying 10,000 Ugandan shillings. We have the large good vehicles. For them, they are 4 to 5 axles, and they'll be paying 15,000 Ugandan shillings. The very large good vehicles, they are 6 and more axles. They are paying 18,000 Ugandan shillings. That's when you pay cash. But if you're to use your UPC card, we have discounts on our UPC cards, and the different cards. Easy Pass has 10% discount, weekly has 50, monthly has 70%. So with all those discounts and your different categories of cars, you pay your toll fees on the expressway.
I hope Ugandans can easily understand this issue of axles, then that, then the middle, so that you don't get at the highway and you have a problem in terms of how much you're supposed to pay. But very interesting is, I think it's the best way. Get this card. As of now, the cards are free of charge. So please go get this card, because you never know, maybe when you will need to use the express highway. I remember someone told me, me now that they are paying, I'll stick to jam. Then one says it saves a lot of fuel and time as well. So have this card. Every person you own a vehicle, have this card, because you never know. Sometimes you may want to go to any destination, and the quickest. And Uganda's jam sometimes is also very funny. You anticipate there is no jam, only to find there has been a challenge and jam is there. Yet at the express highway, apart from the paying stations, you're very guaranteed that jam will not be an issue that you must be afraid of for you to meet your deadline or be on time as expected. Once again, I'm with Joy Nabasa, who happens to be the public relations officer, that is of GLITZ, the company that is mandated to carry out all the improvements we are desiring on the express highway, and also handle this toll collection at the various points. Let's also, the express highway has where you enter from and where you live. So there is this from Munyonyo, that is roundabout. Yeah,
Munyonyo Spa.
Some want to refer to it as Munyonyo Speak, so roundabout. Then that goes through. So where are the different paying points? If we can have a brief layout of that map, tell us here and there.
Okay, in Kajansi, as you come through Munyonyo Spa Road or Kajansi roundabout, the Kajansi Toll Plaza, all the plazas where you pay from are at the entrances of the expressway. When you enter through Kajansi, you will pay, exit from Busega or exit from Entebbe. Then when you're from Entebbe, you pay at Mpala. So Mpala entrance is where you pay. Then when you're from Busega, you pay at the Busega Toll Plaza. So all the paying stations are at the entrances of the expressway.
So how many are these?
There are 3.
Okay.
Yes, in Busega, Mpala, and Kajansi. Yes.
So if I entered through Speak,
you entered through Munyonyo Spa.
Then I
It's
reach
Munyonyo
around
Spa Road.
Busabara, I'm branching off. I'm not yet to the paying point. It could be something beneficiary for.
Don't give Ugandans bad advice.
No, because it was something I was trying to figure out. Most times I use that is the Munyonyo to Kajansi. Then I connect through in case there is traffic jam and I'm heading to Entebbe. So instead of wasting a lot of time from Chibuye, then I go through, I rather use the Munyonyo lane, more so now that government has worked on Lukulinanganda road. So any part of Machinda, it's a very good road. You dodge Salama road full of humps, then you connect. So connection, there's so much, and I want to appreciate our government in terms of infrastructure. So much has been done in these connecting roads. You have now the Hunamoaya still, you go through, then you can connect to Kajansi, then off you're gone. to the express highway. But we are still looking at more emphasis on empowering you with knowledge, what you need to know about this express highway now that payment started. Because not many Ugandans have used this over and over. The biggest change now would be, what do I have to know to be able to use this road in a safe manner, but also smooth for the company that is carrying out this towing to ensure that you have the best out of this express highway. What have been the lessons learned since Saturday, if any?
The payment
yes.
for the company.
Lessons, what are some of those challenges that you feel can be addressed to better services?
Yes, we've had feedback from the public and advice given to us, and we've taken it up. For example, we have to have a shed at our point of sale, which we are working on now. So when people tell us about something, we talk about it. We have had people say that certain lanes should be gazetted for cards and money, but we can't have a lane for only cash. It will take forever. Some people say we should do mobile money on our on our booths, but we give them feedback of it can't happen because there will be delay in traffic. So we take up advice from the public or what they want to tell us, and if it is a positive one, we work on it and we thank you. But in case it can't happen, we explain to you why it can't. So we've had good feedback. Yes.
So importantly, it has been feedback. Now looking at the users, you've talked about issues of the delays, and even much as you've explained, we still have few points there. And I want to believe, much as you've told us it takes about 15 minutes, really there are days where I don't know, maybe because we are still in the week of children reporting back to school. They opened on, you launched on the 8th, the school commenced on the 10th. Maybe that could explain these delays. But I still find these delays disturbing.
They are not for long, trust me. That it also happens. We have traffic lights in town. When they are held, it takes some time and traffic builds up. But we manage this build-up of traffic at our expressway, and the transactions at the booths take the shortest time. If a transaction of a card takes 5 seconds, how long does the one for cash take? Like 7 seconds. So that traffic builds up because all cars come at the same time. But then we manage it in the shortest time and it is off before you know it. Yes.
Well, message of hope and of course assurance that the express highway is safe. The express highway, you'll ensure that if you against time, then you're not hindered by these long queues that we saw. I think that was on the 10th more, where some opted to use the express highway, and of course taking back children to school, that automatically could have created jam. Well, Joy, let me have your final remarks regarding towing at the express highway.
My final remarks will be the safety on our expressway. We urge road users to follow our speed limits and reduce their speed on the road because it is risky. On the expressway, we have to keep left as we drive. So we've had issues of people going and driving through the whole expressway on the right lane, but the right lanes are only for overtaking. So you have to keep left unless you're overtaking. Yes, keep a distance from the car in front of you, and because we are all driving at a high speed, so that we avoid knocking each other in case one breaks instantly. Yes, we are not supposed to use our mobile phones on the road, so we focus on the road, and it is for the safety of all of us.
So yes. These amount to fines or tickets in one way or the other?
Not fines, but they cause accidents on the road. So it is up to us to mind about our safety. Yes.
Well, I want to thank you so much. That is Joy Nabasa, who happens to be the Public Relations Officer, rigorous road safety operations that are mandated to carry out operations of our express highway, more so when it comes to the issue of collecting, that is the money, and improving service delivery on this express highway so that it is safe for you, safe for everybody, And most of her parting shots were very interesting. Ugandans, let's observe discipline. If you may want to call it discipline. Discipline on the road. Not only the express highway, but there is so much indiscipline when people are driving on our roads. Issues of overtaking, not maintaining our lanes, speaking on phone, all these are a danger, and most of the accidents we've seen on this road were as a result of indiscipline. People driving recklessly, people over speeding because they believe this is an express highway. Well, together we believe we shall have smooth operations, and all of us benefit from this unique infrastructure that we have as a country, but also pay, because we know this road was constructed on funds from the Exim Bank of China, which we must pay back as Ugandans. Have a lovely day. God bless you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda